We're live. Hey, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. All right. I'm excited to be here with y'all for this brief conversation. It's going to be a short story. There will be a story, but it won't be long. And then I'm going to end with some tips to help you improve your strategy. If this is your first time here, if you and I have never met, my name is Monique James, and I am a marketing strategist and a fractional CMO. And businesses and organizations who serve businesses hire me when it's time to build a marketing strategy or revive a marketing strategy, especially when you want to start to take advantage or implement a new technology, a new channel, or you just realize it's time to take it back down to the studs and rebuild on something that is a little bit more solid. So I want to talk to you about how curiosity led me to start this business many years ago and how curiosity can help you transform your business this year, especially as it relates to your marketing strategy. So I was asked a couple of days ago about how I got into this business, how I got into being a marketing strategy consultant and trainer. And I told the person that I actually didn't plan to start this business. This business was not on my vision board, on my to do list, on any of those things. I was actually building something else. I was in graduate school and I had started a hobby blog on the side because, graduate school does not take up enough time. But that hobby blog ended up becoming an e-commerce and an events brand. I hosted events, I sold stuff online, and after a couple of years of doing that, one of those events uh, garnered the attention of the local newspaper where I lived. They wrote a story about me and about the business and about the people who were there at the event. And from that story, other business owners in the community where I lived at the time started reaching out and asking what I did to get people to show up at my events. At the time, I had been living in this place for a few, 2, 3 years. And so I was brand new to the community, didn't know anybody, brand new to business, didn't really know anything. And I started to pay attention to the fact that what more established brands, business owners of all levels and stages were asking me to do was to teach them how I was leveraging digital channels to build awareness about me and about my business, to establish myself as a thought leader in my industry, and to convert, meaning to actually sell stuff, to get people to buy tickets to come to an event, to get sponsors to partner and collaborate with me to get their products in front of my audience, to build an audience, all of those things. So that just paying attention and leaning in to what was happening around me, being curious about it and being willing to ask myself new questions allowed me to see the opportunity of stepping into this space. And so once I leaned into it and started to pay more attention, opportunities came my way. And that's how my business started. I partnered with the local SBDC in my area for 4 years, teaching and training small business owners and entrepreneurs about digital marketing channels, about marketing strategy, about maximizing social media and being productive across social media. I did that for 4 years. And after that, I realized, again, paying attention, being curious, that I wanted to shift into the strategy piece specifically because what good is a social media hack or getting on a new channel if you do not have a foundation on which to build? What good is a new technology and diving into it to try to learn it if you're not clear how that technology will amplify your existing strategy? And if you don't have a strategy, like, again, what good is all of that? So I again realized the urge, just paid attention to what the tea leaves were saying and recognize the value of shifting to focusing on strategy, stepping away from being a social media manager because I did that for a while. I still love to train, I still love to teach, but everything that I teach and talk about comes from the core belief, the core perspective that I have, that clarity in your strategy is the foundation for everything that you will do in your marketing. Now, I love digital marketing. I focus on digital marketing channels, but even if you do offline marketing, if you do billboard advertising, if you do mailers, whatever you do, you still need to have a strategy to allow you to do that. So that's what my focus is now. That is how curiosity allowed me to start a business that wasn't a part of my plan and transform that business multiple times over so that I can stay relevant and continue to build and grow and partner and work with and do all the things that I've been able to do, that I've been fortunate enough to do. And so, how can you, brand owner, industry leader, nonprofit executive, DIY entrepreneur, whatever age and stage you are in your business journey, how can you allow room for your curiosity to rise? But and I know even hearing me say that, you're like, yeah, that sounds great, Monique. That's very woo woo. But what does this have to do with the bottom line of my business? I'll tell you, curiosity is an important aspect, it's an important ingredient in the development of your marketing strategy in three major ways that I want to talk about. The first area is your brand identity and messaging. So I like to use this example whenever I'm teaching about brand identity, message, all of that stuff, right? You know how you as a person would say a thing. You might use language that is specific to you. You might use acronyms. You might use your hands. You might communicate the same message that somebody else communicates in a very unique and specific way because it's coming from you. Think about how your brand would communicate a message. Think about how your brand would communicate a message that would make you different from your competitor, from someone who offers the exact same thing that you offer. How would you say it? And more importantly, why would you say it that way? That's what the brand identity and messaging is. That's how and why that matters in your marketing strategy. It's your brand's personality. It's your core values. It's your core belief. It's your resonating message. All of those elements make up the identity of your brand. And in your marketing, that goes a long way to help you establish credibility, to help you build consistency and trust in your audience, because you're saying the thing, you're showing up in the same way, you're having the same types of conversations, you sound familiar to them because your communication is consistent. So if you allow yourself to be curious about how a deeper understanding of what makes your brand unique, not superficially, but the parts of your communication that resonates with your audience in ways that other brands do not. The key here in this space, in this area of the strategy specifically, is not about doing what other people are doing. Because if you are a duplicate of somebody else, then one of you is irrelevant. And if you're the one who's sounding like the other person, then why would a consumer choose you over the more established, over the original? That's why the brand message, the brand identity, that element shapes everything else that happens in your strategy. It shapes every other piece of your strategy, because from there, you will begin to have insight into how you will deliver the messages that you're delivering across the channels that you're using. That's the first area of your strategy that you can allow curiosity to show up, just to guide you in asking new questions, asking different questions, asking challenging questions, questions that make you a little bit uncomfortable, questions that kind of want to make you get defensive about what you're doing, because that happens a lot when we're working with clients. We're asking questions that they've never been asked before, and the knee-jerk reaction is to get defensive. Understand that quality questions cultivate quality answers, and that allows you to show up with a different level of confidence in your marketing, because you are rooted in something that is your brand's fingerprint, that is so unique to you. It makes you uncopyable. That's the first element. The second element of your strategy, where curiosity can really be a force multiplier for you, is in your customer discovery. Showing up interested in the people you want to say yes, in the people you want to come to your event, the people you want to watch your video, the people you want to read your blog post, the people you want to buy the thing, the people you want to sign up for your newsletter. Being interested, being curious and interested in them will give you insight that you can then leverage, that you can apply in your marketing messages, language that you can use, specific word choices and word arrangement that you can use, the ways that you show up, the way that you look. All of these things matter. All of these things are a part of the strategy. It's happening on multiple levels. And the brands that you follow, and I'm not even talking about the faceless brands, because the faceless brands probably have marketing departments who, whose sole purpose is to design and implement the strategies that allow them to occupy that top of my headspace. But think about the brands that you follow, that you resonate with, that have a face. The person who's doing the work, or who's leading the team of the people who's doing the work, is the person that you get to engage with online. Think about how how they create conversations that invite you as a user, as a follower, as a subscriber. They invite you into conversations. They're interested in you. And because they're interested, they're able to capture information about you. They're able to learn what you like, what you don't like, what your desires are, all of those things that make you you. They're able to learn that information and then allow it to guide their marketing so that it continues to resonate with you. Rihanna does this very well, I think. I think she does this well with Savage Fenty, with Fenty Beauty. She When she shows up in an Instagram post, when it's her, the comments blow up, the engagement blows up. People want to connect with her. People believe she understands them, that she gets them, that she has them in mind when she's figuring out what to create. You want to cultivate that same type of affinity in your marketing, through your marketing. And it starts with you being curious about the people that you want to be in community with you. It starts with that curiosity. That's the second area. The third area, let's see, where am I? The third area that you can leverage curiosity to help you transform your brand this year is in your content strategy. Now, the two previous areas that I talked about, the customer discovery and the brand identity and message, all of this works with how you design your content to create the totality of your marketing strategy. I know that probably sounds confusing. Maybe we'll talk about that more in future videos. Let me know if you'd be interested in learning the difference. So, the content strategy, the actual messages that go out, being curious about how you can deliver a message in a new way or a new, different perspective on a commonly held belief in your industry, or a, a channel that, or a channel or a topic that hasn't been explored as much or as in depth by people in your industry. That's what curiosity allows you to do. Curiosity keeps you in a space of experimentation and exploration. It keeps you asking, what if we did this? What if we did that? And I know on the other side of the of other people's content, you might not think there's a lot of thought and intention that goes in because some of it is very quick, it's turned over very fast. But there are ways that you can build that into, there are systems you can build up on the back end that allow you to go from idea to publishing a lot faster than other people. All of that makes up your marketing strategy. So when you start to think about how you want to manage your content, how you want to, the system that you want to hold your content, how you want to store it, how you want to create the workflow that allows you to go step by step, how you want to uh, distribute across a new channel in a new way without overwhelming yourself. So leveraging repurposing is going to be a big part of that. Like, just being curious, just being willing to ask what if, just being willing to open yourself up to what's happening around you and say, huh, is there a way we can get in on this? Is there something we can leverage in this? Is there a piece of this that we can capture? If you're just willing to be curious, just willing to be a little bit curious about all the things that you are saying, all of the publishing that you're doing, all of the idea tracking and planning and tools, experimenting, like all of that. If you are just willing to be curious, you might find yourself like me in a space that you didn't plan to be in, and yet you have discovered that there is room for you. There is room for your unique perspective. There is room for the weird, unconventional, non-traditional ways that you do things. You just, and in that lane, you can create a space that only you can occupy, only your brand can occupy. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing my experiences. I am a firm believer in just asking questions. Like, just ask new questions. What is this here to teach me? What's a takeaway I can take away from this? What's a lesson? What's coming up for me here? What is what I'm feeling trying to teach me, trying to tell me, trying to show me? How can I do this? How has everybody else been doing it? How can I do it differently? Curiosity is a beautiful thing. But I don't have to tell you that, because if you're watching this, you already know. I'm sharing this with the hopes that you will allow yourself to step into your curiosity in a different way so that in this year you can leverage that inquisitive nature to help you create new partnerships, disrupt your industry, um, uh, engage with your audience in a different way, build a bigger community, all of the things that you've said you want to do, create new partnerships, get into rooms that haven't been available to you. Me being curious has allowed me to do all of those things in my brand. And now in this iteration, I'm asking new questions and wrestling with the curiosity in a whole new way. And it's allowing me to be here having conversations like this, talking about empathy and the invisible elements of marketing strategy and curiosity and how it can benefit us as marketers. So that's all that I wanted to share. If you have questions, I would love to know. I would love to know, how has curiosity shaped or guided you in your business journey thus far? You don't need to tell me where you're going. Tell me how it has allowed you to get to this point in your business journey. Just being curious and then stepping into the curiosity and finding the takeaways, the gems, the action plans, whatever, um, that have come from it. So, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have questions, if you want to continue this conversation, digging into content plan, marketing strategy, how it all fits together. Let's talk about it. All right, I'm gone. Catch you later. Bye.